And again, for this year's prelims and coming year's prelims, you can expect a question related with clouds. Why? Because like in this World Meteorological Day, which was on March 23rd, WMO, which is World Meteorological Organization, they came up with new cloud classifications. They came up with new cloud classification. So all these years, like we were having some 10 kind of general type of clouds, okay, and they will be combining to form various other kind of clouds. But we, in our NCERTs and all, we will be studying about this 10 type of clouds. Now what happens is that, or what happened is that, they revised this classification. Okay, they added more kinds of clouds. Okay, so you can expect a question either related with current affair, it will be related with this new cloud classifications, okay, or they will be asking from our conventional area. So in the recent years, they haven't asked any questions related with clouds, okay, but it doesn't mean that it's irrelevant. Okay, in this year you can expect a question related with cloud formations or cloud classifications. So clouds, first of all, cloud is kind of form of condensation or type of condensation. It means that during daytime and everything, like if the water vapor is carried over to the upper atmosphere, the temperature will be reduced, okay, and if the elevation is higher or if the altitude is increasing, what happens to the pressure? Pressure decreases. You have seen, like if some kind of mountain climbers and all, they will be having nose bleeding, right, if they climb. The thing is that the pressure will be less, okay, and our body pressure will be high, so that the blood will flow from higher pressure to lower pressure. Okay, so with altitude, what happens is that pressure decreases. Now if pressure decreases, it will expand, meaning that the clouds will condense. Okay, it can be explained in another way also. Simply, like if the altitude increases, the temperature will decrease, so that the cloud will condense or the water vapor will condense. Okay, now you should understand that the clouds, they are simply condensed tiny water droplets. Okay, the tiny water droplet, they are not water vapor. Now if they combine together, okay, they will fall as precipitation. If gravity increases, they will fall as rainfall or snow formation will take place. That we will see later. Okay, so clouds means the condensed water vapor which is seen over the higher altitudes. Okay. Now regarding the cloud formations, you should understand the classification of clouds. It can be basically classified as on the basis of two things. One based on appearance and second based on their height. Let's see first about the height. Their appearance. Cirrus Cloud. Okay, these are four basic kinds of clouds. Cirrus Cloud means, if you have seen, like, have you seen any this kind of clouds? We will be seeing it in the higher altitude and it will be very wispy thin clouds. Okay, as if like somebody has ran their hand over the sky. Understood? It will be very thin and it will be very feathery in appearance. Now the height is, or they are seen over the higher altitude, and the property you should remember is they will be having ice crystals. Now can you relate the ice crystals with cirrus clouds? What is the logic there? Just think about it. I told you, okay, altitude. Cirrus clouds are seen over higher altitude regions. So with altitude, what happens is that temperature will be reduced, so that instead of forming water droplet, ice crystals will be formed. So cirrus clouds, they will generally be ice crystals. They will be very thin, white in nature, and they will not bring any precipitation and anything, and they will be having feathery appearance. So no, the things you are seeing on this slide, please note it down. While reading module also, these areas are bolded in those regions. Okay, give importance while reading those parts. Give importance to that bolded regions. Now you should be able to distinguish between two kinds of clouds, and they can give the characteristic feature of a cirrus cloud as well as that of a cumulus cloud or any other type of cloud. So you should be able to distinguish between two kinds of cloud. Understood? Next is cumulus clouds. In the case of cumulus clouds, we'll be having flat base will be there. and over that we will be having some kind of vertical development. See, every cumulus cloud will be having flat base and will be having a dome shaped structure will be there. So the feature of cumulus cloud is flat base, rising dome, then vertical development. And the thing is, the clouds having vertical development, there are only two kinds of clouds. One cumulus and next is cumulonimbus. Okay. So important feature of cumulus cloud is they will be having vertical development. Understood? And then they will result only in fair weather. Now if you think about it, like if you need to have vertical development, there should be vertical movement of air should be there, right? Now which process provides vertical movement of air? Convection. So if the day is hot and sunny, what happens is that we will be having rising air, and with that the cumulus clouds will be formed. And this cumulus clouds, sometimes they will come together to form some other kind of cloud, or they will get well developed to form cumulonimbus clouds. Understood? So generally if you are seeing cumulus clouds, they represent fair weather. Next is stratus clouds. Stratus means, or strata means strata. See, again I am saying, like regarding geography, they are mostly related with terms. And if you understand certain terms, you will come to the get to the overall meaning of that context, or if you can apply the literal meaning of that term into the context, you will get the concept. Strata always means layer. Okay, our atmosphere is stratified. Atmosphere is layered into different layers. Okay, so stratus clouds means they are layers. Okay, so stratus means they are sheet or layers, and they will not be resulting in any kind of rainfall. You must have seen this small kind of thin clouds, they will be blocking the entire sky, mostly like during evening or during early morning and all. If you look at the sky, it will look like the entire sky is blocked, entire sky is white in color. That is, they are actually stratus cloud. What is the color of sky actually? Yeah, during daytime it's blue, during night time it's dark. It's actually colorless. Okay, due to scattering we will be having blue color, and if we are seeing this white color throughout it, it means that mostly we will be having stratus cloud. The next basic type of cloud is Nimbus cloud. Okay. Okay, when you hear the term nimbus, you should remember dark and grey. It means that the color of the nimbus cloud, they are dark or grey. Now what does it represent? Water vapor. It will result in more rainfall and it will be dark in color, right? So regarding nimbus cloud, they are thick, they will be having thick vapor, as well as like their color will be dark and or dark grey will be there. Okay, it represents the amount of moisture present over there. And nimbus clouds, they will result in continuous rainfall. And tell me, like nimbus clouds, will they be high clouds or will they be low clouds? They will be seen over the lower latitudes. Clear? So four basic type of clouds: cirrus, cumulus, stratus, nimbus. Cirrus, cumulus, stratus, nimbus, which is having like layered structure. Only stratus? Actually, if I am asking which is having vertical development, there is only one answer: cumulus. Okay, all the other kind of clouds, they are like layer or they are sheet of layer, but within that the stratus is having the predominant feature. See, these clouds and all, we won't be always possible to clearly distinguish between them. If you look at the sky, they will be together, right? So their properties, they will be interlinked. Fine. So stratus, generally they will be having thin sheet of layer which is obstructing the sky. And in the case of cumulus, we will be having rising dome. In the case of cirrus, it will be very feathery clouds seen over the high altitude. So these are the four classifications based on their appearance. Fine. Then next let's see about the classification based on height. Okay, so based on height, clouds can be classified as generally or broadly as three categories or into three categories, like high clouds, middle clouds, or then low clouds. Okay. So regarding high clouds, just go through these clouds. Cirrus, again cirrus is a high cloud. Now another term is cirrocumulus. Now look at that term, cirrocumulus. Can you guess what does this prefix cirro means? High altitude. Cumulus means rising dome, right? So if you are seeing rising dome kind of cumulus clouds combined together, which is taking place in the higher altitude, we call it as cirrocumulus. Now think about cirrostratus. Again, cirro means high altitude, stratus means layer. Okay, so we will be seeing very thin, very fine, layered cloud which is taking place over the higher altitude. We call it as cirrostratus. And next, middle clouds. The prefix used for middle clouds, they are alto. Altostratus, the stratus cloud seen over the middle latitude or middle altitude. Altocumulus, the same cirrocumulus clouds itself, but they will be much bigger, okay, and they will be seen over the middle altitude regions. Understood? Now tell me, cirrocumulus, comparing with cirrocumulus with altocumulus, which will result in more shadow formations? The altocumulus clouds will result in more shadow formations, and they will be much bigger than the cirrocumulus. Understood? And again, other kind of low clouds. One, stratus. The next, stratocumulus. Stratocumulus will be much larger than the altocumulus, and they will result in more rainfall when comparing with the altocumulus. Then cumulus, nimbostratus. Nimbo means which is having more water vapor content. Stratus means will be covering the entire sky, right, as layer or sheet. So nimbostratus means it will result in continuous rainfall. So during monsoon time and all, we will be having mostly nimbostratus clouds. Okay. Now if you are observed during pre-monsoon time and all, okay, the clouds will be like this type of clouds will be seen mostly over the near to the horizon regions. Now if you are traveling over some kind of bridge or anything, near the horizon, you will be seeing clouds like this. And they are not a stratus cloud, they are not cumulus cloud, but they will be having vertical development. This we call it as cumulonimbus cloud. Again, nimbus means presence of water vapor, right? Cumulo means vertical development. So it means that the cumulonimbus cloud will result in more amount of heavy downpour will be there, as well as like they will be having vertical development. Understood? Now next we should regarding like they won't be asking about their shape, rather than you should remember the features of these clouds. As I already said, like you should be able to identify or distinguish between two kinds of clouds. Let's see the important features of clouds. Cirrus, again fair weather, we already saw that, right? Cirrostratus, cirro means higher altitude, stratus layer. Sheet of cloud or halo formations. Now this is important, halo formations. This is halo formation. Now, during like either sun or moon at the center, and we will be having a huge circle around the sky, because the cirrostratus clouds which is seen over the higher altitude, they will reflect or they will diffract the light falling over them. Okay, you don't need to go into the technical details of that. Just understand this. The halo formations, they resulted from the cirrocumulus or cirrostratus? Cirrostratus clouds. Okay, the light will be reflected off by this clouds, and cirrostratus means will it be thin or it will be very thick? Very thin. Okay. So remember halo formation as a feature of cirrostratus clouds. And next, regarding cirrocumulus, again just go through it. Small globular masses, and they won't be having much shadows because they are seen over the higher altitude, right? Now another feature you should remember regarding cirrocumulus is mackerel sky. I'll show you what is it. Have you seen sky like this? No, it won't be this much well developed, but we will be having these clouds coming together to form this kind of sky, which we call it as mackerel sky. So you can expect some kind of pair kind of questions related with this topic. Okay, three kind of clouds will be given over one side, over the other side like halo formation or corona or mackerel sky will be there. Okay, should be able to identify which is mackerel sky is the property of which kind of cloud, cirrocumulus or cirrostratus. cirrocumulus. Fine. So this is all about high clouds. Okay. And next, middle clouds. Alto stratus. Again, alto represents middle altitude. Stratus, layer. Okay. We will be having, the first thing you should remember regarding alto stratus is corona formation. Now, interlink it like stratus clouds here in cirrostratus as well as alto stratus as well as like normal stratus clouds. They will all result in either halo, corona formations. Halo formations are there for cirrostratus. For alto stratus as well as normal stratus cloud, they will be having corona formation. Now let's see what is corona. See, corona is different from halo formation, right? Halo will be having huge circle, okay, but in the case of corona, like we will be having at the center, again almost similar. At the center we will be having either moon or sun, okay, but we will be having two rings. One ring will be most illuminated, and beyond that we will be having another ring. See, mostly like we will be observing corona, we won't be able to see halo. It's much rare, okay, but mostly during night time we will be having this low clouds, alto stratus or normal stratus clouds, which will result in the formation of corona. So corona is associated with stratus clouds and halo is associated with cirrostratus cloud. Now another property is alto stratus is continuous precipitation, because more amount of clouds they are coming together so that it can result in precipitation. Now alto cumulus. Again, cumulus means dome shaped or globular masses, right? Now they will result in shadow formations. So comparing with alto cumulus with cirrocumulus, cirrocumulus is thin, so it cannot result in shadow formation, and alto cumulus they can result in shadow formations. Another thing, like in the first module I told you about the effects of cloud, right? The cloud can reflect off the insolation as well as the cloud can block the terrestrial radiation, right? So if we are having a low cloud or a middle cloud, it can block the insolation. High cloud won't be able to block the insolation, right? Because it's thin. But comparing with the terrestrial radiation, high clouds can reflect more amount of terrestrial radiation. At the same time, like the normal low clouds or middle cloud can also reflect terrestrial radiation, but in the case of blocking insolation, the effect is more for low clouds and middle clouds. Okay. So if you are having low cloud formation or middle clouds, it will block the insolation, reducing the temperature. Clear? Clouds got two kind of effect. One, it blocks the insolation. Second, during night time it blocks the terrestrial radiation. So a cloudy day, it will be warmer. Sorry, it will be colder. Okay, and a cloudy night, it will be warmer. Now if I am saying like during winter time, okay, it's cloudy conditions, the temperature will increase or decrease. The temperature will decrease. The clouds will further reflect off the insolation, right? But if I am saying like a cloudy winter night, the temperature will be much warmer, the atmosphere will be much warmer. Okay, so you should expect like such kind of questions or statement type of questions coming from this topic. Fine. Coming back to the classification. Next classification is low clouds. Low clouds, stratocumulus, nimbostratus, cumulonimbus. Stratocumulus means strato, share or sheet, cumulus, globular mass. Again, nimbostratus means nimbo, thick water vapor. Again, stratus, it will be covering the entire sky. It will be resulting in continuous rainfall. In the case of like cumulonimbus cloud, cumulo, it means vertical development. Nimbus means more water vapor is there. Fine. So cumulonimbus clouds, see when you hear this term cumulonimbus clouds, they are always associated with thunderstorms. Now what do you mean by thunderstorm? A well developed cumulonimbus cloud producing thunder and lightning can be called as thunderstorm. A well developed cumulonimbus cloud producing thunder and lightning can be called as thunderstorm. Okay, so cumulonimbus cloud, they are always associated with thunderstorms. Now I told you that the cumulonimbus cloud we are having vertical development. Okay, so in order for a vertical development, what should be there? There should be vertical movement of air should be there, or upward movement of air should be there. So convection can provide this upward movement of air. So during a daytime, if we consider a tropical land, okay, if we consider a tropical land, we'll be having more insulation, right? So with more insulation, what happens is that more convection will take place, resulting in the formation of cumulonimbus clouds. Again, if you think about the case of like coastal or our Kerala coast, what happens is that we are having majorly rainfall during monsoon time, right? But if you are considering coastal area, like we are having rainfall other than the monsoon time also. So mostly the rainfall will be fall during afternoon. Have you noticed that small kind of or small spells of rainfall falling over afternoon, and they are because of this formation of cumulonimbus clouds. With insulation, if you are considering a tropical land, what happens is that with insulation more convection will take place and thereby cumulonimbus cloud will be formed. Okay, so whenever this insulation is over, I mean like say 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. the maximum insulation will be over, right? So that all the condensed clouds they will precipitate as rainfall. Understood? So understand this cumulonimbus cloud, they are associated with thunderstorm, and one another feature with which you can distinguish cumulonimbus cloud is vertical development. What is the other kind of cloud which is having vertical development? Cumulus. Okay, so only cumulus and cumulonimbus cloud is having vertical development. These are thunder clouds. Now if you read the module, like in the first module it says like, if the cloud reaches the higher altitude, okay, the top shape or the top side will be anvil shaped. So this is what we mean by anvil shape, because the tropopause region the convection will be stopped so that the clouds cannot rise over the tropopause, they will spread. Okay, so these type of clouds are cumulonimbus clouds, and thunder cloud they are well developed cumulonimbus cloud. See, if you travel through bridges, like we will be seeing this kind of cumulonimbus clouds over the horizon. Understood? Okay, now regarding clouds, I told you that like WMO has revised the cloud classifications, right? So there are two important kind of type of cloud which you should understand. One is asperatus. Okay, so in the press release conducted by the WMO, they were mentioning about two kind of classifications. That's why I told you that these two kind of classification is important. One is asperatus. The important feature of asperatus is, or that kind of cloud is, there are localized waves in the cloud base. This is not actually ocean surface, rather than this is clouds. If you look at it, like we will be looking like an upturned roughened sea, right? A sea surface will be having waves, right? So similar kind of structure seen over the cloud or in the sky is called it as asperatus. So you should remember these two keywords. We will be having localized waves in the cloud base or like roughened upturned sea surface. Okay. Next kind of important cloud type is voltus. Now if you look at this kind of cloud, we are having an horizontal tube shaped cloud, right? Horizontal tube shape. It is different from all the other type of cloud. We are having horizontal tube shaped cloud which is called as voltus. Horizontal tube shaped cloud mass, or like appearing to roll slowly about a horizontal axis. The word meaning of voltus is roll cloud. Okay, it can also be called as roll cloud. Okay, so the property of asperatus is that roughened sea surface, upturned roughened sea surface, or like in the bottom base we will be having wave kind of structure will be there. In the case of voltus, we will be having horizontal tubes, or it can be called as roll clouds. Okay. Now look at the first question. Again, see the year 2004. Already told you that in recent year, like we are not having any question from this topic, right? The question reads like this: which one of the following statement is correct? Cirrus cloud are composed of ice crystals. True or false? True. Again, it's an ABCD question. We shouldn't always answer by only reading the first statement. We should read all the other statements. Okay. Now, statement B: cirrus cloud exhibit a flat base and have appearance of a rising dome. It is associated with which kind of cloud? Cumulus cloud. Cumulus cloud will be having flat base rising dome will be there. C. Cumulus clouds are white, thin, form delicate patches and give a fibrous, feathery appearance. True or false? Instead of that cumulus cloud, if it were given as cirrus, it should have been true, right? Now, cumulus clouds are classified as high clouds. No. Okay. So, the answer will come out as A. And the second question, assertion reason type. Again, nowadays we are not having assertion reason type question, but still that statement is important. The amount of moisture in the atmosphere is related to latitude. Think about it, true or false? As we go from equator to poles, the amount of the atmospheric moisture, will it increase or decrease? Which place is having more moisture, equator or poles? Equator. It is dependent on evaporation and temperature received, right? Second statement, the capacity to hold moisture in the form of water vapor is related to temperature. True or false? True. But does the second statement reason the assertion statement? Now, why we are having more atmospheric moisture in the equator regions? Because we are having more evaporation, right? Fine. Now, think about the fourth question. Consider the following climatic and geographical phenomena. Thundercloud development is due to which of these phenomena? Options: condensation. True or false? Does condensation result in the formation of thundercloud? See, it's a cloud, right? How will a cloud form without condensation? Thundercloud. The question is about which of the following or the above factor result in the formation of thundercloud. Simply condensation will be there. You know, cloud is a form of condensation. See, the factor means there is nothing like only one factor which is affecting a weather event. There are a combination of factors. This is why we are studying like all of these basic terms and what does it mean. So just think about this. If they are saying simply thundercloud or any cloud, be it any cloud, you know, without condensation will there be thunderclouds will be there or not? So for the formation of thundercloud, condensation should be there because it's a kind of cloud, right? Whether it is cumulonimbus, cumulus or stratus, be it anything, there should be condensation. Then only cloud formation will be there. Understood? Now come to the second factor, high temperature and humidity. With high temperature, the air will rise up. More humid means it will result in the vertical development or in the formation of cumulonimbus clouds. Orography. Now we haven't discussed the term orography. What do you mean by orography? Any idea? Not rough and surface. Like if you are having an hill region or mountain region, so when the cloud reaches this mountain region, what happens is that through this slope, the clouds will or the air will rise up, resulting in the formation of cumulonimbus cloud. I told you that for the formation of thundercloud or for cumulonimbus cloud, there should be strong vertical movement of air should be there. Convection is only one way in which this vertical movement can take place. Okay. Other ways are like one orography or other frontal or like through cyclones, which we'll see later. Okay. So the fourth factor, vertical wind. Is it there or not? Yes. So the answer will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. The fifth question. The clouds float in the atmosphere because of their low. What will be the answer? Because of their low density. Understand this. See, the water droplets, they are very tiny droplets. Okay. Water we seen as clouds, they are actually very tiny droplets staying together. Only if they come together, their density will increase and they will fall as precipitation. Other than that, they will stay there itself because of their low density. Okay.